Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at Polestar. Polestar 4, the Tesla Model Y rival, gets its price and launch date for North American markets. This is huge news for Polestar and for EV fans worldwide, especially for the Polestar fan in North America that have been waiting on this precious electric vehicle for some time. This is the EV vehicle that I'd like to call the car that has the body of a sedan and the space of an SUV or a mid-size SUV. In the US, the long-range single-motor version will start at $54,900, while the long-range dual-motor variant will cost $62,900. That's before the $1,400 destination fee. There are a couple more variants in between, depending on which upgrade pack you choose. The priciest version is the long-range dual-motor Polestar 4 with Plus and Performance pack, which will cost $72,900. I must say, these are not cheap vehicles. It would seem, while Tesla is bringing down the price of their vehicle, Polestar has decided we're coming to your market and we're bringing up the prices. We're not playing around, which is really good because I invest in this brand because it's a performance brand, it's a premium brand, and it's a luxurious brand. They are supposed to be expensive because that's the brand, that's where they're targeting. So while the optional upgrade brings additional goodies such as heads-up display, larger wheels, and better brakes, all the key factors are essentially the same across the board, dependent only on whether you choose the single motor or the dual motor version. All models have the same 102 kilowatt battery with a maximum DC charging speed of 200 kilowatts. For the single motor version, you get 300 miles of estimated EPA range and 272 horsepower, and a 0 to 60 time of 6.9 seconds. By the way, let's remind ourselves this is the most fastest vehicle that Polestar has produced so far. So you might be wondering, well, why is the 0 to 60 6.9 seconds? Well, this is where it gets good. The dual motor version loses some of the range, which drops to 270 miles, but it has exactly double the horsepower at 544 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 3.7 seconds. Now, over the course of over-the-air updates and performance upgrades that people can pay for, this car will eventually be able to do 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds or 3 seconds flat, I guarantee you. This is a strategy by Polestar to make more money from its customers, and it's genius, it's good. As an investor, I'm quite proud of that. Essentially making the cars upgradable. So you cannot tell me that with upgrades, software upgrades, tuning upgrade, motor upgrades, that this car cannot shave off that 7/10 of a second. I think so. I think it can. So none of these figures beat the Polestar 4 main rival, the Model Y, which surprisingly starts at $43,990. And try to understand, Polestar knows this, and it doesn't seem like they care at all because they're targeting different individuals. Not everyone will want a Tesla, and that's what's good about Polestar. They're offering something that Tesla is not willing to offer quite yet, and this is good. Now, even with top variant, the Model Y performance is cheaper at $52,490, faster with a 3.5 second 0 to 60 time, and with an estimated range of 279 miles. Thankfully, the range is not a huge difference. That's what I'm really proud of, to be honest. Because with both top performance vehicle, the range is very similar, 270 range and 279 range for the Model Y performance. Now, besides a very distinctive design, well, Polestar actually started as a racing team for Volvo in 1996. And they went from being a racing team for Volvo to tuning Volvo cars, specific Volvo cars. Basically, Polestar was the AMG for Volvo. You know, Mercedes have AMG. Well, Polestar was that division for Volvo. So the Swedish brand has recently been handing over the reins to the parent company Geely. Now Geely owns both Volvo, majority stake in Volvo, and majority stake in Polestar. And it's really good that Volvo did this because Volvo still holds on to, I believe, 18% of the ownership in Polestar, but Volvo doesn't have to provide Polestar with financial support. And this is good because Polestar has proven that they can get external financial support and they can still capture financial support from their parent company, Geely, relieving Volvo from some of the pressure. But the good news is that Volvo will still remain a partner in development, research, R&D, sales, and after sales. So they'll still be a tight-knit company, which is good to know. So Polestar 4 has a few more things up its sleeve. It's slightly longer and wider, and its infotainment system is powered by Android Automotive OS, which Android users will probably love, and its interior is less sparse. And let's be honest, if we were to compare the interior of the Polestar 4 and the interior of the Tesla Model Y or the Tesla Model 3, the Polestar 4 wins every single day. Come on now. The Polestar 4 also comes with a 10.2-inch driver display, coming in at standard. That's besides the main 15.4-inch central display with a 14.7-inch HUD is optional. There you go. So this is even better. The Polestar 4 comes with different sizes display. So this is wonderful because not every car gives you separate displays. And I like separate displays because there's the main display, then there's the driver display. I really love the way Polestar does this. It's clear that this brand loves to do things that other brands are not willing to offer quite yet. So in other news for the Polestar 4, it will become available for pre-orders in the US in late April, with customer delivery starting in the fourth quarter of 2024. Now, for quite some time, I've been quite honest with everyone who watches this channel. I've said the really good thing about this company is that it's about to go from a one-car company to a three-car company this year. They'll be delivering the Polestar 4 and the Polestar 3 and the Polestar 2. And I must say, out of all of the Polestar vehicles, the Polestar 2, the Polestar 3, the Polestar 4, my favorite has to be the Polestar 4. And one of the reasons is actually something that people might not be concerned with at all. It's a really simple reason. The display, the landscape display. It's something that I really appreciate in this Polestar car. Not all Polestar cars has a landscape display. And thankfully, the platform that this car is built on, it is perfect for installing a landscape display. And that's exactly what Polestar did. And I'm so thankful of that because for a while, I was really questioning whether or not they even knew that landscape displays existed. Because I was like, well, why wouldn't they just build these cars with landscape displays? But you must understand, from the original design of the Polestar 2, it was always meant to have a portrait display. From the original design of the Polestar 3, again, it's intended for a portrait display because it shares a platform with the Volvo EX90. And again, all of those vehicles use a portrait display. And Polestar future models like the Polestar 5 Sport GT Sedan and the Polestar 6 Roadster, they will come with portrait displays. I hope that changes. But at least one of their car would have a landscape display, and it's going to be very interesting to see what consumers prefer. We've seen it before that Tesla originally started with a portrait display, but over time they switched to a landscape display. And I guess it does make a lot of sense. At home, we're all using a landscape display. So building and software for a landscape display is just simply easier. It's just more straightforward because that's what we use on a daily basis. Building for a portrait display, you have to think outside the box with everything that you do. You have to second guess everything you do because it's not normal to use a portrait display unless it's a smartphone. But smartphones are different. Smartphones are their own thing. You know, if I want to watch a movie on my smartphone, all I have to do is to simply turn it this way. That's it. I just have to turn it. So this is something interesting that Fisker installed in their vehicles was a rotating display. And that's one of the reasons why I was really thankful for Fisker that they were thinking outside the box. But as we all know, Marcus Brownlee kind of helped to kill the company. So let's just be thankful that Marcus Brownlee actually likes Polestar, because let's also be thankful that Polestar makes great cars. Of course it does. Its parent company is Volvo, or at least it was. But its research partner, its development partner is Volvo. Volvo makes terrific cars. In turn, Polestar will make terrific cars. Now, when you look at this car, just the seats, the attention to detail, everything about this car tells you all you need to know about its customer base. We are targeting to become the next Porsche, and that is it. There is nothing complicated to it. And I can't wait to see the reviews of this car. I can't wait to review this car myself. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.